I'm curious with a side question with the rail access for freight. Is there a potential to integrate that into improved distribution networks? Like we've seen over COVID, more and more people are shopping online, and there is the need to be able to deliver those types of goods and services to people. And we have seen disruptions in aspects with the trucking industry, and there's been call for a little bit more of a push and focus on rail as a backup or a secondary system on that, or transition more to create more reliability. Would this type of expansion in the network that you're proposing be able to be leveraged for that as well?
I think Vern wants to answer that one.
Yeah, I saw him on mute there.
Yeah, actually, a little background. I've been in logistics with Canadian Pacific Railway and other businesses for 30 years. And yeah, there's a good opportunity right now to us to partner with Amazon and Walmart and other providers of basically trying to get product from their distribution warehouses in Balzac, as an example, up to Blackfalds. We could actually probably make a delivery within 2 hours if it's timed right. So you could have same day delivery versus overnight delivery as a possibility within the corridor. So there's value to that. People would be willing to pay money to know that if they order something, it gets there within 4 hours, as an example. So that would be part of the revenue stream that we're envisioning within this project.
Yeah, that's great to hear that in consideration, because I know that provides potential for people to even consider moving to other areas, like with the increase in remote working. If somebody is willing to move to an area where they can still get that Amazon same or close to next day delivery instead of days or a week later, that provides a lot more capability. Plus, of course, them being able to travel to those different areas.
Well,
Yeah.
back in the day, you used to have mail trains running not just through the UK but also across Europe, and the concept is now real. It's not really any different to that. You still have the mail train. The mail train will get loaded at one point, and it would offload, and onload at all the stations. So you get a mail bag, and the people on the train would throw one mail bag off and put the other mail bag on, and then go and sort through the mail bag as the train rode along. The concept is no real different, and effectively, sometimes the things we did before are things that we could do now, but a lot better, more efficiently with the technology. So you could have a train that carries the trolleys that you see on airlines, just stacked with parcels, and then each trolley is designated to a town. So you have a Didsbury trolley, you have an Olds trolley, you'd have a Red Deer trolley, we may have a couple of Red Deer trolleys, you'd have a Blackfalds, a Lacombe, etc. They'd all get loaded onto the train, and then the trolley would be, when it gets to Didsbury, the trolley would be taken off the train, put on the platform, and then the trolley that's on the platform would then go onto the train, because that's obviously going to Edmonton. So there's a whole load of mail that's going to Edmonton, and then it stops at the next station. And same thing, switch the trolleys out, and then you have a localized distribution from the station, which back in the day used to have, like, all the mail used to go to the train station, and then people would go to the train station to collect their mail. That's what happened in it's kind of a bit before like Downton Abbey type of a thing. Everything happened from the station. So you're effectively kind of going back to that system, the way that they used to run or operate their lives 100 years ago. We're kind of going back to that, but with better technology.
Yeah, it's an integration using the theories of the past, but with modern tech, and integrating with other modern systems to really create a even better fleshed out one across the whole spectrum. I don't see any other questions in chat. I know we're nearing 8 o'clock, top of the hour, which is usually when our scheduled end is. So I'll leave a last chance for questions before I stop up the recording for open discussion. Edward, you've got a follow-up there?
Yeah. So Thomas and Vern, what kind of help do you guys need? What kind of are you guys right now like a professional organization and a volunteer organization? How can people help out to actually make this a reality?
It's Vern. We're actually needing two different things. One thing, we need advocates, I'd say, on the outside and the inside perimeter. But more importantly, we do have gaps within our management team, and there's no guarantees in anything like this because we haven't had financing approved yet. But anybody who's on the inside now, the opportunity would be advantageous if at one time that we actually get some grant funding, etc., so we can actually start paying ourselves a little bit of money.
Okay, and what kind of what kind of commitments are you guys looking for, time-wise, etc.? And what kind of skill set are you looking for too? That's also important to me.
Well, yeah, that's true. Any corporation needs a few things. Number one, we would need somebody with corporate law background. Number two, we need somebody who's a lot better an accountant than me and Thomas. Number three, we need somebody that has good ties in with political people to sort of manage that area. And there's probably a good dozen. Like, I'm in the brewing industry in the background, right? So there's probably a dozen different tasks that we don't have people to help us with it. Right now, it's primarily myself, Thomas, and Matt Vickers, who's a consultant with the Aboriginal communities in North America. And it's just us three. So the sky's the limit. There could be somebody helping design the specification for train stations or platforms. It could be somebody that is looking at transit-oriented design in each of the communities. You name it. If we know there's a go-to person that we can rely on, the first thing I would say, you're it. Let's get her done.
Yeah, because I mean, going on that, you could have, if you could be in graphics and or design, we need that as well, because to create renderings. I mean, you see the map? I created that map myself. There are so many things wrong with it. There are so many things that could be enhanced and made better on it. But I'm an engineer, so that's that's almost the best I can do, because I'm not a graphic designer. But if somebody happened to be a graphic designer and think, you know what, I could make a way better map than that, have at it, please. That's the kind of help we need. There's the renderings, like concepts and creating visualized concepts of what we want to do. At the moment, it's just a case of some lines and stuff. But yeah, there are so many different things. It's almost a case of, what do you think you can do to help us, and let us know if your idea or your abilities, and we'll see where we can fit you in and what you can do.
Okay. Yeah. Personally, like, I don't have any of the skills you're naming. I'm an IT guy myself, mainly in the Microsoft 365 space. So the online collaboration, that's my spiel. But I'm Dutch and I'm really into trains, so I really love this stuff. But none of the specific tasks. But I might just reach out and see if there's any way I can help, brainstorming or whatever.
It's also getting the word out there. It's also telling your friends that, you know, hey, there is this opportunity. This is a viable project. This is something that can actually work. This is something that can actually be done, and just letting them know. Just, it's word of mouth is one thing. It's like, it could be the best.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, last chance for any straggler questions there before I close us out for the evening. Thank you, Thomas and Vern, for coming and going through the thorough explanation. That was a really great Q&A and really in-depth discussion there.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks very much, guys. Very much appreciated.
And if any of you want, again, go to access that, it is www.abrailway.com and twitter.com/railalberta. I'm just dropping in the chat there again, and if you're catching this on the recording, those links will be in the description there. Thank you, everybody, and hope you have a good night. And I'm going to close out the recording here, and we're going to go to just our casual open discussion.